Senator Gallacher.
President, as the co-chair of the Parliamentary Friends of Road Safety, I want to make a contribution about my favourite topic in this place. And recently the Bureau of Infrastructure, Transport and Resource Economics, a division of the Federal Department of Infrastructure, Regional Development and Cities, launched a new website, and the website is the Vision Zero dashboard. And the dashboard allows users to view all local government areas with 0 deaths over a 10-year period. And it can be found at bitre.gov.au/dashboard/#vision. Now, these statistics show the number of years a council has not had a fatality on their roads. And it's sad to see there are only 19 councils out of the 537 in Australia that have not had a fatality for the whole 10-year period. Those 19 councils represent about 35,000 people. The councils in South Australia, Kimba, Wudinna, Maralinga Tjarutja, Western Australia, East Fremantle, which I'm reliably informed is probably the smallest council in Australia, Wyalkatchem, Koorda, Wiluna and Unincorporated other territories. In the Northern Territory, Wagait Council is the only one with no fatalities. In Queensland, Doomadgee, Mornington, Kowanyama, Aurukun, Mapoon, Torres Strait Island, Hope Valley, Wujal Wujal, Richmond and Cherbourg. New South Wales, Victoria and Tasmania and the ACT did not have a council area without fatalities in the 10-year recorded period. And not one of these councils that I've mentioned has more than 10,000 people. In fact, most of them are under 5,000, and really quite a number have less than 2,000 people. So, you know, it's alarming to see that over a 10-year period, most councils in Australia have fatalities. And when you press on the interactive map, most councils are having fatalities year on, year out. In South Australia, that includes Unincorporated, Mount Barker, West Torrens, Charles Sturt, Adelaide Hills, Salisbury, Playford, Barossa, Murray Bridge, Alexandrina and Goyder. These councils have not seen a single year of 0 deaths in their council area. And this is replicated right across every state and capital city in Australia. Again, looking specifically in South Australia, councils of Port Adelaide, Enfield, Tea Tree Gully, Marion, Light, the Coorong, Tatiara, Wattle Range, Clare and Gilbert Valleys, Wakefield and the York Peninsula have only had 1 year in 10 fatality-free. No wonder in their report into the inquiry into the National Road Safety Strategy 2011-2020, a recommendation was made: make road safety a genuine part of business as usual at all levels of government. There was a comment made by the co-chair of the inquiry, Associate Professor Jeremy Woolley, and he stated local government has 80% of the roads and 50% of the casualty crashes occur on these roads. So local government needs to be part of the solution. This is the first step towards this, and it's the first time, and I have to put on the record, I'm extremely critical at times of the department, but this is good and useful work. Good and useful work that must be continued. If we look at the budget papers, we will see that the expenditure in 18-19 for black spot projects is $85 million. $85 million spread around these particular areas. If we look at the roads to recovery, which predominantly goes to construction and maintenance programs at the local level, we'll see another $364.5 million going directly to predominantly local councils. And if we look at the road investment component, we will see in 18-19 there is $3.694 billion of road investment component, delivering the majority of the Commonwealth's investment in road infrastructure. It targets nationally significant projects and will improve the efficiency and safety of Australia's road network. So there's a massive investment by the Commonwealth in black spots, roads to recovery and in the national network. What we're not seeing is that it's targeted to specific safety recovery measured outcomes. we're not seeing the connectivity and the precise sort of allocation of funds to deliver both the good roads but also the safe outcomes. Now, when pressed during estimates, and my comments are, I find it exhilarating that finally we have someone who knows their stuff in this area. So, Ms Lemming, on notice, I would like to see how many in the 2017-18 year we're using the common sense audit, and how many are we using the measurement of death and injury, and then we're talking about black spot funds. So there is the ability to get in front of the curve. It's to do the safety audit, apply the black spot treatment without having to have the awful evidence of death and injury. And we do have, and we are starting to get very proactive bureaucrats in the department who are getting up and defending, which is good, defending the way the Commonwealth is acting in this area. But we've finally got a website which will tell us how effective that is. Now, if you live in a council and your council hasn't had a death and injury-free 10 years, you should be asking questions because you're on those roads. You're on those roads, and not all of those councils are all that geographically large. A lot of those inner-city councils are not geographically large. You know, you could be one of these statistics. So we see an enormous amount of federal funding going into black spot, road to recovery and making our road network safer, but we don't see any measurement of it being applied in the essential areas to have safe outcomes. Now, there is an enormous growth in road transport, and we have people saying electric cars are going to come along and take it all away, we won't need to worry. Well, that is all going to be quite considerably into the future. We know that if you look at a place like the Northern Territory, they're almost running at 50% higher statistics than last year. 50% higher more deaths than last year. We know that they only have one council area in their entire Northern Territory that's been fatality-free. And if you know where Wagait Council is, it's on the peninsula at Mandorah. It's a very small community, and fortunately it's had that good record. But every other piece of the Northern Territory has not been fatality-free. And most areas of South Australia are not fatality-free. And most areas of Melbourne and New South Wales and the ACT are not fatality-free. We're applying federal funds to these areas. We should be applying them as diligently as we can. We should be measuring the outcomes, and where we're having success ahead of the curve, we should be making sure that that's transported all the way around the network to ensure that this interactive map of Australia, which is available to all citizens, so as you can click on that and see what your council area is doing in terms of being fatality-free. We know the department is starting to get its act together. It has been pressed and pushed at estimates and in other areas, and it's had inquiries launched by Minister Chester, and it's had good work done by the Deputy Prime Minister McCormack, but we need to press on with this. This will not go away. We continue to lose 1,200 Australians a year and injure many more thousands of those people. The costs to the economy are over $30 billion. If we're applying the funds in the correct way, we should be measuring the outcomes to make sure we're getting the right results. And when getting the right results in a particular area, we need to make sure that they are replicated all around the network, all around the country. This is not brain science or rocket science or brain surgery. This is simple economics applied, 101. We take $364 million of roads to recovery, $85 million of black spots, $3.6 billion of efficiency and safety dollars invested in a single year. We should be getting the best possible outcome for the taxpayer's dollar, measured and reported, and this is a very good start by BITR, and I commend them for it and look forward to significant improvement in this space.